I was learning this. I was learning this type of. I was learning this type of stuff basically, and then the glyphs that I've been trying to do basically from the owl house doesn't work in real life. But then these are different glyphs. This is different. This is a different glyph. I'm writing down the names. I forgot to write down that one, but they all mean something. And this is the witch's heart, basically from the left of the body of the witch, basically the heart. But the information I'm getting at, it seems right. It don't seem made up or wrong. It don't seem fake or fictional. It's just the only issue is that it's because when I'm trying to practice the glyphs and stuff and things like that, there's just people's going down on me, telling me it's not real. So I just understand it's not. But but at the same time, they said that the more I practice the glyphs, the more it can be real life. The reason why it's not real life because the magic. I mean the glyphs. The glyphs isn't magic, but the glyphs doesn't exist in real life. Let me turn down the volume. Turn down the volume so I don't get copyrighted. Watching YouTube videos about people going thrift shopping, I don't get copyrighted. The only thing I can get copyrighted is when I'm watching Disney Amphibia. That's the only thing I can get copyrighted. And I'm trying not to record the TV either. But like I said, these witch spells basically are really prohibited from the real world because the magic won't work. And then my program from PAL is telling me it doesn't work because, like I said, this glyphs magic is the same. It's the same thing as it's totally different, but it's the same concept as the board game that's supposed to stay away from, the Ouija board. So the Owl House does the same thing that once you have like a board game or a Labubu, or have one of the things, or a voodoo doll, basically those type of things. When you have them at home, they don't actually work. But the thing is about it, it does kind of work. But it just doesn't work. I'd say it kind of work because you use your imagination, but other times it won't work because when I'm trying to do the glyphs and touch it, it won't. The light glyphs and then the fire glyph, the ice glyph, the different type of glyphs, it won't work in real life. And Lucille said I used it for she used it for to survive in the episode, so she can she used it for good in the episode, and then those people use it for bad, for evil. So those two different things. But those magic stuff won't work in real life. It's like anything that the honest thing is, I found out that time travel also won't work in real life because once I make a machine, it goes directly back to the same timeline I've been now. If I build a machine now, I mean in the future basically, it won't directly work because it will go back where I started from the beginning. It won't let me go back in time or the future. There's just no such thing as trying to go back in time. So it's, like I said, it's fictional, and it's at the same time with with flying cars. The reason why there's no flying cars because if it would have flying cars above the air, then 3D and 2D, because it's 3D is basically where cars start to fly in the sky, and then 2D it's cars are just being on the road and doesn't fly. So we always have 2D cars that. Cars are actually 3D, but they're just 2D cars that they stay on the ground. They don't actually fly up in the air. So that's why it makes 3D. But 3D is fictional. It's science fictional. But in 2D, it's real. We live in that part of 2D. But we live in a world that's 3D. But 3D and 2D is kind of different. But so yeah. Also, I've been looking up on Google that if Santa Claus St. Nicholas was been alive, he doesn't mean he's not gonna refuse to be Santa Claus. He just doesn't want to be Santa Claus. He wants to be a church religion, Saint Nicholas. He want to be he's Saint Nicholas, but he want to be a church person. He wants to be a guy. He wants to be a person who protects children. Basically, he wants to be a person who So I wanted to look up on Google if he can be Santa Claus, like dressed up in red and things like that. But no, he won't. If he's still alive, he'll be 1700 years old, something like that. But if he's still alive, he's still 1700 years old. It's just that when he died, he wasn't 1700 years old. He had a different age. But he died in 343 AD, whatever. But like I said. The reason why we have the fantasy of Santa Claus is because Saint Nicholas had to pass away. He had died. He had to pass away, so we can create the magical thing of Santa Claus. So we can create it, but we didn't create it. One person created it before he passed away. It was just the person created the night before Christmas, by Thomas Nast. He created that before he passed away. He did the book for children, the night before Christmas, all through the house. Not Creature Story, not even the mouse. He created that, but he created that after Saint Nicholas is not around anymore. We have dolls of Saint Nicholas. We have dolls of Santa Claus. So we have both of them. And also I can't even tell if Santa Claus and Saint Nicholas is better, but I don't know. And they said it's the same person. It says Santa Claus was created by us, and then Saint Nicholas was created when he was born in modern day Turkey. Modern day Turkey and things like that. I thought that he changed to be Santa Claus because people hated Saint Nicholas, and he just wanted to change his costume, his form into his church form into Santa Claus. So he kind of like took a break from Saint Nicholas. He's Saint Nicholas. He took a break from being him, and then he kind of hide and move in other states. But then he became Santa Claus. But at the same time, Saint Nicholas used to work around with Krampus. Krampus is also a made-up character that kind of made it up. But there was also Santa Claus, kind of made up Santa Claus. But if Saint Nicholas if the Saint Nicholas is alive now, then Santa Claus won't be around at all, and Santa Claus won't be around at all. If Saint Nicholas was alive now, it's like I said, It's really weird how this world has been designed and been made. I mean, I know it was created by God, but things like that. But I'm talking about like it's really weird that all the stuff I've been told is fictional stories and folklores and things like that. It's just all made up, all jimble jamble, and everything with time travel and Back to the Future and things like that doesn't exist. But aliens does exist now, because when I was at my program, they was talking about aliens do exist. I was getting really disappointed thinking that alien does not exist. It does. It's just we don't have evidence of proof over here. But like I said, I have been told that aliens do not exist. But Area 51 do not exist. But no, it's a real thing. I thought it was just something that we have to make it up, make believe, so that children believe that stuff is real, but it's not real. But the thing is, I have been told that aliens is real, but then over here we've been saying that it's not real. So it was like a confusion, because my program should know that aliens does not exist, but they just said it does, and it's prohibited from talking about it. So that's prohibited. Christianity is prohibited. Things with magic and spells and Halloween, that's also prohibited. Santa Claus is also prohibited because if the more I keep talking about it, the more it ruined children's childhood about Santa Claus. The more I keep talking about it, because they don't want me to keep talking about a fictional they don't want me to continue the fantasy in the real world well, people don't want to talk about that. There's people that don't want to talk about Santa. They don't want to talk about Saint Nicholas and Santa at the same time. Well, they don't want me to talk about Christianity and God and Jesus. Basically, they don't want me to talk about that either. The people, they just don't like when we talk about that. So some stuff is real, some stuff is not. But I wanted to say that it would be cool if everything was real, so that we don't have to worry about this issue that getting confused which way it was not. So like I said, and when I was little, I've been told everything was fictional. So it's just confusing. So yeah, like I said, I'm doing this stuff, and it won't work. The more I practice this, the more it can be real. But like I said, we're in the laws of fixers that it cannot happen. Like we in the whatchamacallit. Nobody is doing the laws of statistics. We're in this planet that is prohibited from doing stuff we see on TV and TV shows and things like that. So some stuff won't work, some stuff does. So, like I said, and the spiritual world also does not work in real life either. The outside world does not work in real life, and anything I'm talking about, like anything that I've been told from TV and commercials and shows and things like that, like everything just putting something garbage in front of me when I was trying to not use it as garbage. I'm trying to use it as useful, as a tool, or useful, but then it becomes all trashy. And Google is just also telling me the same thing with trashy, because I just wish everything was real, 100% real. So, and I wish everything was like 100%. I wish from 95% to 100%, but I feel like everything's going to go to the opposite. The number will go down when it's supposed to go up.